Some students at the University of Yale recently lost their minds upon reading a letter by Nicholas Christakis, an associate manager at one of the residencies there. I will link to the email in the description below, but needless to say, the content of the email was incredibly ordinary and reasonable. Read it for yourselves, but in summary, what she was saying was that it was not the place of staff to dictate to students what they can and can't wear on Halloween. And to anybody with an ounce of respect for individual liberty and a sense of understanding that policing something like that would just be impossible anyway, okay? It's an uncontroversial thought and an uncontroversial thing to communicate to students. Well, how naive could I be, right? I mean, apparently it is controversial now. Apparently students do want to be policed by the staff. Apparently they do expect staff to waste their fucking time doing something like this. And apparently they do want their own individual sensibilities enforced on other people. In fact, they want it so much that this letter triggered what can only be described as a psychotic overreaction. I'm gonna play you a clip of one of these students berating the husband of this lady, who is also an employee at the university, by the way, and just try and appreciate just how crazy, just how narcissistic, and just how entitled this young person is. I'm going to interject with some thoughts because I was unable to fucking stop myself. But I just want to relay a trigger warning to everybody listening now, okay? Because this person is so hideous that if you're not sitting down, you're not well rested, you don't have a glass of scotch handy, you might end up committing harakiri, okay? You might actually end up jumping out of a window just to end your suffering. So you've been warned. Here we go.
Other people have rights too, not just
walk away. Walk away. Interrupt me. It doesn't deserve to be listened to.
Unsafe space here for all.
Stay
quiet. For all Stillman students. You understand that? As your position as master, it is your job to create a place of comfort and home for the students that live in Stillman. You have not done that. By sending out that email, that goes against your position as master. Do you understand that? Then
no, I don't agree with that.
Then why the fuck did you accept the position?
Because
Who the fuck hired you?
So this is the point where I expel her. If I'm in a good mood, I expel her. If I'm in a bad mood, I become a Roald Dahl villain.
I'll give you butt.
Different
You
vision
should step down! If that is what you think about being a master, you should step down! It is not about creating an intellectual space! It is not! Do you understand that? It's about creating a home here! It is not about creating an intellectual space! It is not!
Google dictionary definition of the word university, and I can't even believe I'm doing this, a high-level educational institution in which students study for degrees and academic research is done. So, common words and phrases in that definition: educational, study, degrees, academic research. Uncommon, nay, non-existent words and phrases: home, safe space, hive mind, kittens, puppies, bubbles, Barbie tea parties. I mean, how did this girl get into Yale, and who do we need to slap for making that decision?
You are not doing that!
You're supposed to be our advocate!
You should be at the event last night when you hear a Franco say that she doesn't know how to create a safe space for her freshmen in Stillman. How do you explain that? These freshmen come here, they think this is what Yale is? Do you hear that? They're gonna leave, they're gonna transfer because you are a poor steward of this community.
Transfer, leave, go, be gone. Get out of our sight. I mean, do you honestly think the University of Yale cares if 1, 20, or 100 little brats like you transfer? How many places, how many applications do you think they get each year for every place they have to fill? You'd be replaced in a fucking second. In fact, as I said earlier, I already would have expelled you at this point. I mean, you are actually damaging the reputation of that university. You are making Yale look like a shithole. And I am just in awe of this guy. I mean, he is standing there taking this crap. He has the patience of a Buddhist contemplative. I mean, he is almost Spock-like in his composure. So, hats off to you, mate. I couldn't do what you do.
You should not sleep at night. We're out. You're disgusting.
He definitely came across as the disgusting one in that exchange. Yeah, sure, okay, fine, whatever. Jesus. Dr. Freud. Paging Dr. Freud. We're sending one over. God help us.
Somebody needs to say to the shrieking girl who's effing and blinding at her professor, you know what? You're not at a home. This is not a home for you. It's a university. It's a very different thing. And what's more, if you cannot cope with Halloween costumes, then you've got no place at a university, because you're going to have no chance of dealing with quantum physics or Shakespeare or Heidegger if Halloween spooks you out this much. You're a useless person, and you're going to go into a useless career, because if you're a lawyer and you have gone to Yale, but you're too sensitive to hear about rape cases, you're not going to be able to represent anyone in a court of law. So you're no use for the law. You're no use for literature, because you might read a novel which will trigger you. You're no use for the sciences. You're no use for anything. And that's what the adults should be saying. They should be telling the kids to grow up. And the adults have lost their confidence. And that is the most striking thing.